Hello, algebra students. Let's keep multiplying some binomials here. And by binomial, I just mean a group that has two terms. So this first grouping here has two terms, an x and a negative y, with another group that has two terms. That's what binomial means, two things adding and subtracting. So we're going to multiply these binomials with each other. And this one's not much harder than what we've been doing. You know, we're going to pass out the terms just like we did. We're going to combine like terms just like we did. However, there's some chance for error here with negatives and the fact that there's two variables. So the main thing will be neatness. Let's give it a try. So starting with the first term in the first parentheses, we're going to multiply it and pass it out to every term in the second parentheses. So x times x, careful guys, it's not just x, it's x squared. We use exponents to keep track of repeated factors. And now I'm not done with that x yet. I have to pass it out to the second term. And again, guys, remember the sign in front of it belongs to it. So that's like x times negative y. So I'm going to have negative because it's basically like I'm multiplying 1 by negative 1, you guys. But the way I kind of think of it is a single minus sign sticks around when you're multiplying. Two of them cancel each other out. But x times y, you just write xy. And now I finished passing out x, but careful, again, when I take that y to pass out the second term in this grouping, I make sure that I keep the negative sign that's in front of it. When I multiply, I think of that like a negative. So negative y times x. Now, can you write that as negative yx? Why, yes, you can. But if you do, you might make a error later in the problem. So I would recommend that you do the standard thing that mathematicians do, which is write the variables in alpha order. It's not that you're wrong if you write it the other way. It's just that you'll make less errors with combining like terms when you do it this way. So instead of writing negative yx, I'll still have the negative up front, but I'll put those in alpha order, xy. And now, finally, I need to take this negative y and pass it out to the second term in this grouping, which is also negative y. And that's what I was saying. A negative times a negative is a positive, or another way to think of it is when you're multiplying, two negatives cancel. And then y times y is y squared. Almost done here, but I do have some like terms, and that's literally why I recommended that you write them in alpha order. I don't want you to miss that these are like terms. A negative xy and a negative xy. Well, there's two of them. If it's freaking you out, just go ahead and put that little 1 right there. Remember that if you have an invisible coefficient, it's a 1. So negative 1 minus 1, I'm not multiplying now. Now I'm adding, subtracting. That will give me negative 2 xy. See how many chances there are for errors here? It seems like this is an easier problem, but it can get pretty complex. Now there's no other x squared terms, I'll drop that. There's no other y squared terms, I'll drop that. And that is my final simplified answer. X squared minus 2xy plus y squared. All right, nice job, guys. Super proud of you. Happy learning.